They say Stillwater Lake got its name because the water never ripples. Not from the wind, not from rain, not even from the fish. It just sits there, heavy and motionless, like a sheet of black glass. Locals don't swim in it. They barely even fish there anymore. But tourists, they don't know better. Cara didn't believe in ghost stories or cursed lakes. She was a photographer chasing eerie landscapes for her Instagram. Her followers loved crumbling cabins, dead trees, and forgotten places. Stillwater had all of that. She parked her car near the overgrown trail and walked half a mile to the water's edge. It was just like the story said. Perfectly. Still. Cara set up her tripod and took a few shots. She got some good pictures of the dark water, but nothing her fans would enjoy. She tried different angles, but it just looked like water. Dark water. She looked around to see if she should instead take pictures of the forest behind her. There weren't many people out, and dusk was about to set in, which gave the trees an eerie feel. Cara turned back to grab her camera, and that's when she noticed something odd in the viewfinder. A ripple. Something in the lake had just moved. She lowered the camera. The lake was still. She raised it again. The ripple was back. Gentle circles in the center of the lake. She zoomed in. A hand, pale and bloated, poking straight out of the water like it was reaching for the sky. Not thrashing, not waving, just held there, fingers frozen in a grasping pose. Cara looked away from the camera and at the lake directly. It was gone. No ripple. No hand. She packed up quickly, turning towards the forest to leave. But she stopped. The camera. The last photo she took. She pulled it up on the screen. There it was. The hand. Still reaching. The light shifted. Clouds rolled in unnaturally fast. The woods seemed darker, denser. Something heavy, wet and slow, had emerged in the lake behind her. She turned. At the edge of the lake, a trail of wet handprints led up the shore. One after another. Cara stumbled back, staring at the handprints. They weren't random. They were deliberate. Left hand, right hand. Something had crawled out of the lake on all fours. She should have run, but her legs were rooted to the ground. The air had thickened. The forest was holding its breath. The birds had gone silent. No wind. No rustling. Only the wet sounds. She spun around to bolt toward the trail, but the path was gone, swallowed by brush and shadows that hadn't been there before. Panic consumed her. Behind her, something let out a sound, guttural, wet, like a throat full of lake water trying to speak.
Cara!
She froze. No one knew she was there. She turned slowly, the dread already crawling up her spine. A figure, dripping and twisted, its limbs too long, its skin absent of all color, stood before her. The hand she'd seen earlier was now part of an arm, of a body that shouldn't be alive. It reached out towards her. The thing's eyes were sunken, full of lake water, and yet somehow locked on hers.
Cara, help me. Help me. Help me.
The voice was familiar. Within a moment, she realized who the voice belonged to. Years ago, she'd taken a trip with her family to a lake oddly similar to Stillwater. She had dared her younger brother Matt to go out for a swim, knowing full well he hadn't yet learned how. Eager to prove he wasn't scared, Matt jumped straight in. After a few moments, nothing. Matt didn't come up. Kara screamed for her parents. Matt never came back up. They searched for weeks. His body was never found. Kara had never told anyone the truth, that she'd dared Matt to dive deep, that she waited too long to call for help.
Kara,
The thing gurgled again.
I'm cold.
Its mouth opened impossibly wide, the jaw cracking like soaked driftwood. Something inside writhed. Something else. Something worse. She saw other hands reaching from inside its throat, grasping and twitching. The creature took another step. The ground beneath it began to bubble and rot. The lake was seeping up through the soil.
Take my hand.
It rasped, reaching out with the same bloated fingers from her photo. Kara backed up, but her foot slipped into water. There was no forest floor anymore. Just black, motionless lake, swallowing everything in silence. They never found Kara's body, but some tourists did find a camera with only one picture. A pale, bloated hand reaching out of the water. Unmistakably Kara's hand.
They warned you.